The story begins with a helpless and poor boy named Shin, who was born into a slave family, and fate has chained him since childhood. Some ruthless men capture him and drag him away to force him into slavery. But during this moment, his eyes suddenly fall on General Varn's powerful army, and seeing that great warrior lights a spark of passion in Shin's eyes, because one day he wants to become a great warrior just like him. But reality turns out to be completely different, because the man who buys him is extremely cruel. On the very first day, he forces Shin to do tasks he doesn't even know, and for the smallest mistake, he beats him mercilessly. In that same house, Shin meets another slave boy named Rocky, who has already been working there, and he's the one who teaches Shin everything. One day, Shin tells Rocky that one day he will definitely escape this prison. Rocky then tells him the harsh truth, that being a slave is their fate, and escaping from here is almost impossible. But if he learns how to wield a sword, maybe he can write his own destiny. Hearing this, the fire inside Shin burns even stronger. Then one day, under the excuse of collecting wood, both of them stop in the forest, where Rocky starts training Shin in swordsmanship and tells him that to become a great warrior, he must practice thousands of times. After that, they secretly go to the forest every day and train hard. Years pass by, and now Rocky has become extremely skilled with the sword. But Shin is no less, and both give each other tough competition. One day while they're training, a mysterious man named Sho is watching them from a distance. He's a special agent of King IC. When Shin notices him staring, he gets angry. But the real shock comes later that evening when they return home and see that Sho is already talking to their master. He has come to take Rocky away with him. Hearing this feels like a stab in Shin's heart. Before leaving, Rocky reminds Shin of their promise to become great generals together, and Shin assures him he won't give up. Rocky tells him to keep training and promises they'll meet again. After that, Shin is left alone. But to keep his dream alive, he trains day and night, becoming stronger and faster with time. Months pass by, and one night he hears strange noises outside. When he goes out, he's shocked. Rocky is lying on the ground, badly injured. Panicking, Shin asks what happened. Rocky tells him that the king's brother has started a rebellion to seize the throne, and while protecting the king, he ended up like this. He tells Shin to fulfill his unfinished dream and then dies right in front of him. Seeing his closest friend die shatters Shin. He swears to take revenge on everyone responsible and, without wasting time, picks up Rocky's sword and sets off. But the journey isn't easy. Soon, some dangerous local tribesmen surround him and try to rob him. They don't realize he's not just any kid. With his skills and rage, Shin defeats them all in moments and moves on. Meanwhile, the king's brother Jack is celebrating, thinking he has become king. But suddenly, he gets shocking news. The person he killed wasn't the real king, but a look-alike. The real King IC is still alive. Shin reaches a secret location that Rocky told him about, and there he sees someone who looks exactly like Rocky. It's actually the real King IC. Before Shin can process anything, a deadly assassin appears to kill the king, revealing that the look-alike trick fooled them, but now he'll finish the job. At that moment, Shin realizes the truth. His friend Rocky was actually the king's double, sacrificed in his place. Rage explodes inside him, and he attacks the assassin. Though the enemy is extremely strong and Shin struggles at first, his desire for revenge keeps him going, and eventually he kills the assassin. After that, his anger turns toward King IC, and he tries to kill him. But IC stops him, saying if he dies, all the sacrifices, including Rocky's, will be meaningless. Shin, still furious, says he'll first take revenge on those responsible, and after that, he'll deal with IC, so the king has to stay with him. At that moment, a mysterious tribal girl named Sohee appears. She says she can guide them safely through the dangerous forest, but in return, she wants money. because she knows IC is no ordinary person but the real king. With no other option, IC agrees, and the three move forward together. During the journey, Shin keeps remembering Rocky and suddenly lashes out at IC, even beating him, blaming him for his friend's death. IC then reveals the truth, that Rocky already knew his fate and chose it willingly. He even said that if he died, Shin would protect the king. Hearing this calms Shin down, and he realizes how much Rocky trusted him. Eventually, he accepts IC and agrees to help him. When Shin asks about the plan, IC says Sho is their last hope, so they head toward him. But the path is dangerous. They must pass through the mountain tribe's territory, where outsiders are forbidden, and there's a long-standing enmity. As they pass through a bamboo forest, a strange man attacks them. He looks like a junkie and uses poisonous fangs as weapons. Shin underestimates him, but quickly realizes his mistake. The man is incredibly fast and dangerous. Still, Shin manages to defeat him, but gets poisoned in the process. So he uses her herbal knowledge to save him. After recovering, Shin asks IC why his brother hates him so much. IC reveals they have different mothers, and his mother was a dancer in the royal court, so his brother never accepted him as king. The next day, soldiers arrive, but it turns out to be Sho, who is relieved to see IC alive. Meanwhile, Jack strengthens his army and spreads fear by brutally killing royal blood soldiers to prove only royal blood deserves the throne. Shin, now recovered, suggests attacking immediately, but Sho explains they're too few. Then he remembers the mountain tribe might help. Despite past betrayal, they decide to try. They reach the tribe, are captured, and brought before the chief. IC humbly apologizes for past wrongs and asks for help. After tension, the chief, revealed to be a girl, agrees to help and orders war preparations. Using a clever plan involving masks, IC infiltrates the palace. Once inside, they launch a surprise attack. Fierce battles erupt. Arrows rain down, but the tribe's warriors endure and fight back. Shin heads toward Jack but encounters General Saji, an insanely powerful warrior. Meanwhile, Jack unleashes a monstrous beast. Shin, despite fear, defeats it. Finally, Shin confronts Jack, who stands with Saji. Saji overwhelms everyone, leaving only Shin and Sohee. Injured and barely able to move, Shin remembers Rocky, stands up, and fights back. Using the move he practiced thousands of times, he kills Saji. With Saji dead, Jack has no choice but to surrender. Shin captures him and announces it to all. Jack's army loses morale. In desperation, Jack attacks IC but is defeated. IC spares his life. Then, a stubborn warrior refuses to accept IC, but suddenly General Varn arrives with his army. His presence alone stops the war. He questions IC's vision as a king. IC declares he wants a peaceful kingdom with no discrimination. Impressed, Varn ends the war. When he leaves, Shin shouts that he will one day become the greatest general. Varn smiles and says, "Prove it when they meet on a real battlefield." And with that, IC regains his kingdom, and this epic story comes to an end. So guys, if you liked the story, don't forget to hype the video and subscribe to the channel.